If Goodluck Jonathan, a man that everything nasty was said about him, he's weak, he's drunk, he's this, he's that, all those things were said about him. At no time did he arrest one person. Coffins were made and carried. And his aged mother, thank God, who is still alive, saw it. He was depleted in so many derogatory ways, sir. You know. And yet, he arrested nobody. I even organized a protest in 2012 when he was president to the National Assembly about the environmental devastation in the Niger Delta and blocked the National Assembly with thousands of people. Nobody arrested me. I was not arrested. Bring back our girls. The women today in Nigeria, some of them came to notice and their voices were heard as women under that Bring Back Our Girls. The wife of Obama, everybody was involved. And Jonathan and the people of the Niger Delta were made to feel responsible. Not the governor of the state, not the army, not the police. So, sir, if we are calling on you today, it is because you are in the office of the president. If you were not in the office of the president, nobody will call you. Why will we hold you accountable and responsible? If you're not in the office of the president, you are in the office of the president. Now, not all of us wanted you to be there. Not all of us want you to be there. But you are in the office of the president. A few that don't want it, well, they have to live with it. But the ones that want you are also responsible. So, sir, what happened? What we saw, thugs were being ferried in jeeps in Abuja by men that are very obviously official government men, were ferrying thugs with arms to go and attack peaceful protesters in Nigeria, in the seat of power, in the capital of Nigeria, which by all calculation is actually the capital, should be the capital of Africa. But Nigeria has become a shame of Africa. There are smaller countries in the African continent that are far better, and I have better pride and more pride to be called an African because of those countries. We saw thugs. There is nothing, there is a great difference between the peaceful protesters that are calling for the removal of SARS, that are also calling for change that we've been calling for years, restructuring, self-determination, resource control, resource ownership, census, change of constitution, development. All these things are basic rights for the electorate to call for them. These peaceful protesters, that is all they are asking for. That they started with remove SARS and have now lifted it to another level, which is a language that the APC party is very familiar with, and the spokespeople are very familiar with. The next level. All they have done is lifted to the next level. This government have also claimed in this second tenure that they have lifted their governance to the next level. They have not done so, but nothing has happened to this government. We must be free to express how we feel. Expressing how we feel does not take you out of power. But even if it does, it's not enough to kill people. It's not enough to kill people. It's not. Thugs, there is a difference between the protesters and the people that the government claim have taken over the protest. Nobody has taken over the protester. We are not all fools. The protest is not taking over. Thugs are attacking the protesters, and it is government officials that are bringing them. Some were ferried into parts of Abuja. I don't live in Abuja, I live in Port Harcourt, so I don't know Abuja. I've never lived in Abuja. I just traveled to Abuja. I don't want to live anywhere else, but in Port Harcourt, in Rivers State, and in my community, that's all, full stop. Anywhere else in Nigeria, I travel there, and I only travel within the South. I'm not interested in going any other place. Now, those thugs are paid to disrupt the peaceful protest and to give the impression that the peaceful protest is violent. It is not. And it is still not violent. Even till now, the protest is not violent. The people that are violent are the people that are brought in, ferried in, to discredit this protest. But the truth, you can't, no matter how many thugs that come, they cannot discredit the truth. You can't, nobody can discredit truth. Truth is alive, it lives, it breathes, it has life. The world, even Hillary Clinton, that was in Obama's government, that the 19 northern governors went to see and report Goodluck Jonathan to before the election, has made a tweet, has sent a message out on Twitter to call on you, not because she doesn't like you, but to call on you to do the right thing. And that is a responsibility that you owe Nigerians. You owe Nigerians that responsibility. It doesn't, if you choose not to take that responsibility, it's okay. That's your choice. But you owe it to all Nigerians, not just the 97% that voted for you, even the 5% that did not vote for you. You owe us that responsibility. Because for now, we're still Nigerians. You don't have to like us for our rights to be equal to those of the people that like you and the people that you like. The people that voted for you, that you acknowledge, and the people that did not vote for you. These are the youths that, sir, you referred to as lazy. They have not changed. You referred to them as lazy youths that wanted free oil money. They are no more lazy, obviously. And they are not asking for free oil money. They are asking for their free rights to life. and to good governance. But that was what was promised, good governance. In 2014, good governance, better than Goodluck Jonathan, was what was promised to Nigerians, the ones that believed. That was what they were promised. The government, the Senate president, the speaker, politicians, senators, the House of Representatives, the governors, the State of Assembly members, you're all politicians. You may not all belong, you all don't belong to the same party, but you're all politicians. But whether you are in APC or you're in PDP, you owe us the same responsibility. It's not different. APC does not owe a different responsibility. PDP does not owe a different responsibility. You all owe us the same responsibilities as citizens of this country, as we remain in this country. You owe us the same responsibility. And that responsibility is our right to life, our right to justice, our right to equity, our right to say they don't like this and we don't like that. It's our right. You owe it to us. I therefore call on the politicians that I have identified now by their positions in politics and in governance. Ministers. If you are a minister and you're from Rivers State, you are a minister of Nigeria, but you must remember you're from Rivers State. If you are the Speaker of Senate, fine, you're a Speaker of Senate, but that Senate does not belong only to APC or only to Northern Nigeria. You may be more than the South in the Senate, but it doesn't belong to you. It's equal, it should be equal, but you have taken more. That has to be corrected. And that's why we're talking about restructuring Nigeria. We must have a restructured Nigeria. A restructured Nigeria will enable each state, each community. I don't believe these lies that is being fed our people that refuse to think that because a woman has 4 children and her neighbor has 2, that it doesn't give the right of the woman that has 4 to now go to the woman that has 2 and say, the pot of soup you have cooked, I want it because I have 4 children, you have 2. That's what's happening to us in Niger Delta. Our resources is being cutted away. Our children, when they come out of universities, when ASU is not on strike, because most of the children of politicians and of the rich go to universities, not in University of Jos or Port Harcourt or Lagos. They go to University of in America, any of the Ivy League university, whether they're doing well, they don't do well, doesn't matter. They go to those universities, and our own children from the South end up here in Port Harcourt. That's okay. They will still be brilliant. The inequality is in the Constitution. It is wrong to say that a child, a teenager, a young man from Enugu State must have, I have people here, how many points is it? Must have 120 before he can gain access to university, federal university. And somebody from Niger or Zafara can have 10, 9 to go to the same university. It's not fair. It's not fair. Federal character. Federal character. The South is not having its share of federal character. That has to change. It can only change from a new constitution. NYSC. I know when it was created. It was created after the war. And I know the reason why it was created. It has failed. NYSC is of no consequence. It's of no value. It's of no value, it's of no consequence. You just make our children go and suffer in some bush somewhere, away from their state, away from their region. And then children from another place come to River State, and the governor provides the best of accommodation for them and pays them. And our children are suffering somewhere else. It's of no value. And therefore, it's one of the things that if we restructure Nigeria, we don't need. Even now, we don't need it. Because we are in a region where our children need to go around the region for them to be able to be part of development of this region. There are some children in River State that have not even gone to Delta State, that have not gone to the creeks, and they're from the Niger Delta. That is, everybody should go into their own interiors, their own regions, their own states, away from the capital, not come and take one Ikwere young man, one Ijo young girl, one Ogoni young man, Ekpeye young girl, and so on and so on, and Egi, and take them to Zamfara, to Sokoto, to all these places. No, this is not selfishness. This is reality. This is wanting what is in your best interest. And so, if you look deep, these are the grievances. If we sit down and find a solution to what these our children are asking for, you will find that these are the issues. They're no more than this. And failure of government, and even failure of we, their parents, in the sense that it is our irresponsibility to take the injustice that they are refusing to take now in the name of one Nigeria that has brought them to this level, to this point where they are getting up and saying, no, I don't think that there is any of those youths that are up to 60 years. My first child is 43, and my last child is 27. Therefore, all of those children across Nigeria, in the streets and capitals and towns, saying, remove SARS, all of them, I can give birth to them. I'm sure of that. Yeah, or any other thing, I can definitely be their aunt, if I can't be some of their mother. But I'm almost certain that they're in their 40s, therefore I can give birth to them. Therefore, there is not a single person that is out on the streets in Nigeria today that I am not speaking for as a mother, as an aunt, and as a grandmother, as a parent. This is not about anybody's pride. Nobody can talk about their pride when we're talking about our children. Your pride does not come to play when we're talking about children that we carried for 9 months in our womb. and gave birth to, either naturally pain or under the ninth pain. But we didn't vomit them, we gave birth to them. So don't bring pride or respect into it. Don't. It is about justice. It is about equity. It is about what is right. Really, in your heart of hearts, you that own 2 jets, 3 jets, the whole of a street all to yourself, building a house that a community can live in, decorating it in gold-plated chairs and toilets. Do you sleep well? All those beds, can you sleep in more than one bed at a time? Can you drive more than one car at a time? Can you ride in more than one jet at a time? All the monies you have stolen and looted and depriving some of us, yes, some of us, I'm including myself, because lack is lack. That people are wearing clean shirts and putting on, men are wearing clean shirts, shaving, putting on aftershave, women are putting on lipstick, does not mean that you have not, what you have done is not painful to them. There are people who should own houses that are renting houses. It's not fair. And that's because they have been wickedly deprived, impoverished, purposefully impoverished, especially we in the Niger Delta. We have been wickedly impoverished, both with outsiders and with our own people. And our own people, I'm not leaving you out. I'm not leaving you out. But you will pay your own price. Your own price. Because you're being used. Whichever way you look at it, you're being used. You are where you are today, not in your deepest part of your heart. If you're a Niger Delta man, if you're a Niger Delta woman, in the deepest part of your heart, after 5 years of this government, you cannot tell me that you don't have a regret about where you are politically. You have regrets. You have regrets. The only salvation, if you like, is to remember that you come from a place. Is to remember that you come from the south. Is to remember that you are a Yoruba man, that you are an Igbo man, and that you are an Ijo man, or an Ikwere man, an Ogoni man. Remember you belong somewhere. Don't be deceived. Because when you open the door to an outsider to come in and do your brother wrong because you have grievance with your brother, let me tell you, that outsider will never trust you. Never will he trust you. He will trust me first, who he knows how I feel and why I feel. You would have been doing what you're doing for a different reason to the reason why I don't like what he's doing. You see? Therefore, he knows my stand. Therefore, he or she knows where I stand. But with you, they can't trust you. And you have lost both ways. You have lost both ways. And you're left outside by yourself. Because there is nobody who we, the people, whether it is Igbo people, whether it is Yoruba people, whether it is the ethnic nationalities, all of us, and we're plenty, that equally make up the Niger Delta. We know you. We know you. And we have given up on you. There is no way. The ones that have completely sold out 100%, we know you. The ones that have not sold out 100%, that are there because of how I go do, we also know you. And when push comes to shove, when the day of reckoning, of face to face, will come, and it will come, when we will look at ourselves face to face, when you're out of power, when your appointment is no more there, when the issues have changed, when we have a new constitution, when we have self-determination, when we control our resources, we will remember you, and we will remember that we cannot trust you. You people that move from one party to the other, we know that you're doing it because of your selfish interest. If it's not good for you, yeah, you go to the other place. If it's not good for you, yeah, you go to the other place. That is, let me say this as I begin to run. All this that I've been doing since 1998, when I started, before Abacha died, I chose to do what I am doing today. I decided to do it in 1998, in August 1998. I decided this is what I want. I've had all my children, and I wanted to concentrate on equity and liberty and justice for me and my people. I do what I do. I did what I did. I continue to do what I do, standing for truth and justice fearlessly, because it's my choice by the grace of God. I believe I am called to do this, and when I take a position, whether it was during Jonathan's time, I do it because it's the right thing to do. If it is to stand with the Niger Delta, I do it because it's the right thing. If it is to stand with River State, I do it because it's the right thing. I am not funded by anybody. There is nobody that is funding my programs, any program I do. Nobody is funding it. God alone sustains. So you see, you cannot say, you can say it behind my back. You can write nonsense on the internet. Some I see, some I don't see. It doesn't really matter. We live in a country where anybody can say anything they like to spoil somebody's name, and they can get away with it. If we were living in civilized, if we're not living in the caves like we are, they wouldn't even dare it. So, but it doesn't really matter, because it's not the truth, so it doesn't bother me. And it doesn't put food on my table, it doesn't pay my rent, it doesn't fuel my car, it doesn't buy generator for me, so I don't care. I don't care. I can live with or without the generator. Yes, I can live either renting or owning a house. It doesn't really matter. I will speak the truth. So you see, all this talk about, oh, Annkio is like this because this person, look, my support for Wike has nothing to do with anything but the fact that I choose. It is my choice. I choose, and I know why I have chosen it. I know why I have chosen it, and I will do it as long as I justify it that I should do it. I will do it. Because right now, today, in this country, in this region, and at this point in time in my state, there is nothing better. There is no one better. Because in 2015-16, we were shouting in River State about SARS. Nobody listened. Today, everybody's talking about SARS. Yes. So now, anybody who can take a position that affects me positively, doesn't matter. I'm not even a politician, so why should I care? Am I running? Have I ever come out to say I want to run for office? For what? You can't even succeed. If you become a politician, you will either become part of what you don't like, or you cannot succeed. So I would rather stay where I am, where I can justify what I'm doing. I can justify what I'm doing. So my sisters, my brothers of Niger Delta, of Southern Nigeria, of River State, put your lives first. Put the future of your children first. Come out. Support these youths. Don't listen to the people that are saying it is a wrong thinking for anybody to say that because government says that they will remove SARS, that SARS has gone. That is foolishness for anybody to believe that. And these children, by not believing it, are showing that they know better than us, because we failed them. If we didn't fail to stand up at the time that we should have stood up, for the reasons that we should have stood up, these our children will not be in this mess. They're in a mess. They're in a mess. Some of them have families and they are fighting for their children. Look at a young boy of 8 or 9 who gave away what he was carrying on his head. How much would he make in a day? Maybe 1,000 naira, if at that. And he gave it away free. And he said to them, continue to fight. When you win, my mother and father will have money to send me to school. He didn't say government will send him to school. He doesn't even know that it is his right and that we have the capacity for children to go to school free. If federal government is not taking all our resources from here and spreading it to lazy states that don't do anything, or are selling their own resources behind our back and still taking our own. Every child in River State can go to primary school, which is already a basic universal education free, secondary school, university, even master's degree and PhD free, with the wealth we have, if we're not sharing it with 30 lazy states. These are our realities in Nigeria. Mr. President, I mean, I've spoken for 1.5 hours. Mr. President, you know what I'm saying is the truth. You know what I'm saying is the truth. That Kano, how did we find ourselves in a place? That's why I said we failed our children. Obasanjo was brought out of jail in 1999 and was made the president by the people who believe it is their right to decide who will be president, made the president. Where he began to fall out was when he refused to stay within the 10-year guidelines and wanted second, not only second, he wanted third first. That was where Sharia law came in. He said, oh, don't mind it. It will go away. It didn't go away. It did not go away. Sharia law did not go away. That is where we are today. So the fact is this. Every state has a right to be responsible for itself. How do we have Kano and 44 local government was created for Kano, and Bayelsa, 8 local government? It's just sheer wickedness. Oh, it's just people just give them 8 local government. Waiting they want. Make them stay inside the creek. 8 local governments to a state that produces oil and gas. And then you're sharing a location that is coming from Bayelsa, and you're giving 8 to Bayelsa. They should scrap a local government. Every state should sustain its local. If you like, get 100 local governments. I don't care. But I only care because you are taking from me and sustaining your 100 local government areas. Why should Bayelsa produce oil and gas? Kano will get 44 of it, and then Bayelsa will get 8. Mr. President, this is just the truth. This is the pain. I mean, whether I keep it in me because I'm afraid to talk, which I'm not, or I speak it out because it's the truth, and you will listen to it because it's the truth. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It is not selfish to say, why should one person take 88 of what I own? Why? Why? I really want to believe that I have tried to touch on the areas to express our feeling as mothers of these children that were killed yesterday. By fathers, we're seeing the picture of the general that is supposed to have headed that team that carried out these atrocities. The army is now saying that it is not them. So what the army and the federal government wants the world to believe, and it's quite easy to believe because already Nigeria has accepted that there is an invasion. We're invaded from outside. So if the army is saying this morning, last night, that the people who walked up to those children, even told them to sit down, that nothing will happen to them, that those men are not military men, then what that is saying is that even the army is powerless, because the army cannot even know that there are people pretending to be the army and mow down their own citizens in Nigerian army uniform and killed Nigerian children in Nigeria. And the governor of Lagos State is saying he doesn't know who gave the order, that even the order for the curfew, that his hands were tied, literally, that it was orders from above, a governor. And now, mothers, some are crying for their only child, some a daughter, a son. God will comfort us, and God will comfort you. That the people that perpetrated this evil in the name of politics, in the name of power, you may get away with it because it was in the night, because you cannot be identified. But within you, and you as a person that pull the trigger to kill those people, you can never rest. You can never sleep. The way the mother stayed awake last night crying for their children, that is the way you will stay awake for the rest of your life. You will not cease. Why should you cease? You will confess, since the army says it's not them, you that carried out this thing, you will not sleep. You will confess. If you don't do it today, you do it tomorrow. If you don't do it, your children will do it. Because that is the God that we serve. He's a God of vengeance. It may take time, but he will get his hand of it. He will get his drop of blood. He will take it. Mr. President, I am speaking the truth. Not because I disrespect you, but because it is the truth. You are older than me. I accept that. But what I'm also telling you, Mr. President, is the truth as I know it, as I feel it, and as I see it. It is my truth. On that note, I thank you all for listening. May God rest the soul by justice, by giving justice to what these children died. God give them justice. In Jesus' name, amen.
Stay with me, bro. Bro. You stay with me. Relax, bro. Bro. Stay with me, bro. Get my leg. Get my leg. Get my leg. Put pressure, bro. Stay with me, bro. Bro, bro. Stay with me, I beg. I beg. No go anywhere, I beg. I beg. I beg. When I put pressure for that wound, I beg. Put pressure, I beg. I beg. You not die in Jesus' name. Bring water. Bring water.
Get up, stand up.